In the recent verdict of Supreme Court, which was announced on 11th of December 2023, Supreme Court has upheld the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. So, in this video, we'll be basically understanding the arguments which were made from both the points. But before that, let me quickly give you a brief what Supreme Court mentioned. Rather, what has been the synopsis, the brief of it. So basically, the Supreme Court has rightly observed that the decision taken on August 5th, 2019 was done with the purpose of enhancing constitutional integration and not disintegration. The court has also recognized the fact that Article 370 was not permanent in nature. So let's move ahead with this video. First, let's look into what 23 petitioners argued about. So, their main point here was Article 370 was a temporary provision that became permanent, in which they mentioned only the Constituent Assembly from Jammu and Kashmir, which existed from 1951 to 1957, could actually abrogate Article 370. They also mentioned that Parliament cannot assume the role of Constituent Assembly to make the amendments. Also, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganizational Act 2019 is unconstitutional under Article 3 as per 23 petitioners' argument. They further mentioned that Article 3 does not give the powers to Parliament to downgrade its states into a less representative form such as a union territory. And also concurrence of the Jammu and Kashmir government, Article 370 limited to the power of Parliament to make laws for Jammu and Kashmir. Now, let's look at the arguments which were made from central government's point. So, they mentioned that President had the power to abrogate Article 370. Article 370 was a temporary provision inserted to ensure Jammu and Kashmir integration into India. Also, since Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly was dissolved, President had the power to abrogate Article 370. Now, Jammu and Kashmir sovereignty was surrendered. Then, state of Jammu and Kashmir had surrendered its sovereignty to Union of India upon accession. Jammu and Kashmir had, however, retained autonomy to govern itself. Sovereignty and autonomy are very distinct factors. And also, reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories is constitutional. The union has the power to reorganize under Article 3. So, this could be done under Article 3. And also, statehood will be restored once law and order situation in the region is normal. Now, let's look at what CGI's statement verdict has been on. We definitely discussed about the brief that the Supreme Court mentioned, but let's look into the verdict which CGI gave on 11th December 2023. So, he mentioned that Supreme Court has upheld that the Article 370 is a temporary provision on a reading of the historical context in which it was included. And now, why was it included? So, Article 370 was introduced to serve two main purposes. One was to provide an interim arrangement until the Constituent Assembly of the state was formed and could take a decision on legislative competence of the Union on matters other than the ones stipulated in the instrument of accession and ratify the Constitution. And the second was its temporary purpose and interim arrangement of special circumstances because of the war conditions in the state at that point in time. Now, let's further dive into the main points which have come out of Supreme Court's decision. So, the first point is that the President has the right to remove Article 370. The decision to remove Article 370 was constitutionally correct. The second is all provisions of the Constitution apply to Jammu and Kashmir. The decision was taken for the integration of Jammu and Kashmir. There was no malice in removing Article 370. steps should be taken for early elections in Jammu and Kashmir, and uh, the election should be done in Jammu and Kashmir by 30th September 2024. Also, statehood should be restored in Jammu and Kashmir soon. Article 370 was a temporary provision. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India, and Supreme Court also stated that the decision to separate Ladakh was legal. So now, looking at all the facts and Supreme Court's verdict, it is clear that abrogation of Article 370, which happened on August 5th, 2019, was a constitutionally right step for the integration of Jammu and Kashmir and entire nation. On this, PM Modi has also tweeted that this verdict is not just a judgment, but it promises hope and a brighter future. This is a testament to our collective resolve to build a stronger, more united India. So that's it for today's video. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to New India Junction. This is Avantika Consult signing off. Until next time.